Hi, I'm Rusty Allen, Education and Outreach Coordinator for North Haven Gardens, and we're back in our Sun Perennials section to talk about the value of pollinators. And certainly with Sun Perennials, you have lots of examples that you can find that are going to bring pollinators for you for a perennial that grows year after year and blooms in the sun. But I want to focus on some other plants for you in other categories you might not think about that will definitely have a value for pollinators. Here is going to be a basic annual and a good one. This is Penta. And Pentas are wonderful because they have so many of these star-shaped flowers and high in nectar, it brings butterflies very, very nicely. This is a great annual for warm weather. It's here at North Haven Gardens right now during the summer. And these kinds of blooms you'll get all summer long. You can deadhead them. In other words, remove the older spent flowers to get some more flowers in full sun to part sun. It does like protection from hot afternoon sun. You'll definitely bring butterflies. Another category you may not think about though is going to be ground covers. And in ground covers, there are several Texas natives I want you to know about. This is one of my favorites. This is frog fruit. And frog fruit will grow in almost any situation. It's a terrific ground cover. It doesn't get too much higher than this until it blooms, about maybe 8 or 10 inches high, with small, unusual cylinder-shaped blooms covered with white flowers, and it brings very small pollinators. A lot of our pollinators that are very valuable are small in Texas, and they come to these tiny flowers in the spreading ground cover. It will take almost any situation, really, from sun to part sun to wet soils, and can dry out too in between, and does very, very nicely. Another one I like as a ground cover is horseherb. And horseherb is an unusual one that actually years ago people considered a weed in lawns, but we've since learned the value of this plant with these tiny little yellow flowers here, again bringing small pollinators on a plant that will average about 8 to 10 inches again and spread in part sun to shade. It's going to act as a little perennial to a certain degree, so come the winter, if it's cold, then it's going to maybe freeze back a little bit and then come right back. You can mow it and you can walk on it to a moderate degree, and it still won't hurt it, and it will still give you these flowers for pollinators. And ground covers are also great for other kinds of animals like lizards and toads that are trying to hide from the heat. Another category you shouldn't forget, I think, in any landscape, and that's a vine. When you don't have enough space, when in doubt, grow up. Get you a trellis, maybe get something against a wall, and grow a vine like this native Texas coral honeysuckle. With its coral blooms, you're going to bring hummingbirds. Remember, there's many other kinds of pollinators besides the butterflies and the bees that we always talk about. There's cuckoo bees, there's wasps, there's hornets, there's bats. There's all different kinds of things that will act as a pollinator, just like hummingbirds, and come to a vine like this in sun to part sun, blooms most of the spring and the summer, and it's a beautiful choice. Shrubs. A lot of shrubs are going to be very valuable for you for pollinators. This one is really popular. This is Buddleia, and it's so popular as butterflies. A lot of people call it butterfly bush, with these beautiful blooms like this, covered in tiny flowers that are here in purples. They come in other colors. Like a lot of shrubs, they're breeding these to be shorter, so you're going to find quite a few in a size that's easy to adopt in your landscape, maybe 3 to 4 feet by 3 to 4 feet. Some of the others can get quite big, 6 to 8 feet. Sometimes it acts as a true perennial. You can cut it way back once it's established in the winter, and then all summer you get these blooms that are irresistible to butterflies. Very, very pretty. Here's another Texas native. Here's one that we all like here a lot at North Haven. One of the reasons why is because it's a good versatile shrub. This is Beautyberry, and Beautyberry, Callicarpa, this one covers a lot of the United States, but here you'll find it in woody situations. Maybe it's moist, or even when it dries out. The buds that are starting to come on just now here will later turn to small white pinky kind of flowers, and then turn to a berry that has a mauve color to it that birds really do like. In between though, those small blooms will bring you some butterflies and some honeybees too, of course. And then don't forget a tree. We have some beautiful desert willows here. This happens to be the Timeless Beauty, which is about a 20-foot by 20-foot tree. The great thing about desert willows is they're a faster growing tree. You can always find a spot for one. High heat, drought, not a problem. Full sun all day long, or what you want for a desert willow. And then the nice thing too is that underneath you don't have such thick shade cast by the leaves, and you can put a lot of great perennials underneath here and expand your pollinator garden very, very easily. We know you're like us and you think that pollinators are important, and at North Haven Gardens you have a lot of choices. We do have handouts to help you. Butterfly plants, for instance, here, and then the top 20 hummingbird perennials are great places to start. Come see us at North Haven Gardens. Plant something, not just the annuals and perennials, but plant something for our pollinators with a native Texas plant or an adapted plant.